Elon Musk just confirmed big news. He says FSD V13 is coming soon, and it is trending to be 500% better. It's one thing for him to say that just once, but it's another thing for him to say it again, and especially a little bit later, because now I assume he has more data and more reasons to believe it is going to be that much better. And it is a completely different version. It's V13, so I assume it is actually going to be significantly better. So it's certainly very possible that we will go to about 500 or 1000 miles between disengagements when this new version comes out. Ooh, and what do you think these are? These are cover Teslas at Fremont? Are these Model Ys, the new ones, refreshed ones? Hold on, someone is saying I was there yesterday is because it was raining. I don't see any rain anywhere here. I think most likely these are refreshed Model Ys. Now the one in the middle right here, that's a different vehicle. You can see that it's clearly different from all other ones. The consensus certainly is that these are refreshed Model Ys, except for the one in the middle. Some people are saying that it's Cybercab. Herbert is even suggesting that these could be refreshed Model S's or X's? I doubt that. Joe Tagmeyer, the drone operator who took this video, he's going to be flying again tomorrow, and we'll see if we see any more of these. Now this vehicle right there, to me, it looks more like a vehicle that's similar to a Model 3, and I doubt it's a robo-taxi. Remember, Tesla before said that they would be releasing multiple models, and it could just be a model based on a Model 3 but cheaper. Also, keep in mind that some automakers even use shape camouflage, but Tesla has never done that, so this would be the first time Tesla doing it if it's doing that. It says electric, but I disagree with that. Remember this? This was leaked before the Robot event, and this was, I assume, the Robotaxi which we saw already, and this looks nothing like the actual Robotaxi unless this is an entirely different vehicle. Getting back to these new vehicles that were just spotted, does this look like a Model 3 to you? To me, it doesn't quite look like the Robotaxi, because look at how smooth this slope is, and here it looks like it goes like this and then it goes down and then it goes straight, sort of. But this is just smooth. I don't see that here, and also this part looks a little bit longer than this, so I don't think this is a Robotaxi. And then the other one looks like a Model Y, sort of. I'm sure in the next coming days or weeks, you will find out exactly what these vehicles are. Speaking of the Cybercab though, look at this picture. This illustrates perfectly just how much legroom you have inside. This is a lot. And we got more big Elon Musk news. Check this out. Elon Musk seems to be extremely set on buying MSNBC. Actually, he responded to this post asking how much does it cost. It all started with that post, sort of, and then Elon Musk kept posting more and more about it. He says, crazy idea, but it just might work. This is from Babylon B. Musk announces plan to buy MSNBC and turn it into a news network. And that's actually not it. There's more proof that Elon Musk is serious about buying MSNBC. He also posted this on his main timeline, and lead us not into temptation. And there are reports that indeed confirm that Elon Musk has actually reached out to MSNBC expressing interest in buying the cable channel. Now, technically MSNBC is not for sale, but they are restructuring how it is held, which definitely possibly opens an opportunity for the network to just be sold to someone else. The way it has been restructured, it does not cause any taxes to be paid immediately, but if it was sold, there would be taxes to be paid on the sale. So that's why a sale is possibly not very likely immediately, but give it a few years and the tax situation is going to change. Elon Musk reiterated one more time that the most entertaining outcome, especially if ironic, is most likely increasing the chances that he would actually buy MSNBC. And then Joe Rogan responded with, if you buy MSNBC, I would like Rachel Maddow's job. I will wear the same outfit and Gladstone, I will tell the same lies. Elon Musk agrees, saying deal. That's her on the right, by the way. This is obviously important to us Tesla stock investors, because that could mean that Elon may have to sell some Tesla stock to buy MSNBC if he chooses to do so. To buy Twitter, Elon Musk sold tens of billions of dollars worth of Tesla stock, but in this case, MSNBC probably would actually be under $1 billion. It was wild to see this news develop over the weekend. If you're not following me on X, by the way, you should. There's a link down down below to follow me on X. So if you want to see me react to news live, basically, sort of, make sure to follow me on X. I believe that $1,000 for Tesla stock, that's just a matter of time. And it doesn't matter what Elon Musk chooses to do with MSNBC, whether he buys it or not. By the way, I also heard if he buys it, it may not be just Elon Musk. There may be more people than just Elon Musk buying MSNBC. So relatively speaking, the amount of money that he would need to deploy to do this probably would be not that much. I don't think it would really impact Tesla stock in terms of Elon Musk having to sell a lot of Tesla stock. If he does have to sell, it will be a very small amount, relatively speaking, compared to what he had to do before. A year ago, Pesci posted that Tesla stock is going to reach $350 in 2024, and that just happened. So he posted a new price target, but this time for next year, 2025. And now he says it is going to $575. He even gives it a 99% chance. I think predicting 12-month stock price targets is incredibly difficult, and largely that's luck, because the market can get irrational and crazy and emotional. But in the long term, I think it's, if you really think it through, I think that's not too incredibly difficult. Anyway, regardless of that, I'm happy that Pesci's price target was set this year, and we'll see what's going to happen next year. I hope he's going to be right again, but I really wouldn't mind another big buying opportunity. But if you buy for the long term, even today, I believe is a buying opportunity. For example, last year in the summer, when Tesla stock reached its sort of local high and then it dropped 10% in one single day, people were freaking out. And I said, no. It will be apparent later that it was a buying opportunity. And if you bought that day, today, you would be up about very roughly 34-ish%. And we haven't really even gotten started with Tesla stock. With Tesla stock, we always have these extended periods of time where nothing seems to be happening to the stock compared to its previous all-time high for many, many years. And then it just jumps, and the same thing is going to happen again. If we look from Tesla's all-time high, it has been 3 years now of consolidating, where if you compare Tesla's bottom here to when that was Tesla's highest stock price, it's been about 4 years, a little bit over 4 years. So this latest consolidation phase for Tesla has already lasted between 3 to 4-ish years now. And the longer it lasts, the bigger and the more violent the jump is going to be. So historically speaking, if we reach a new all-time high, if we exceed that substantially, chances are we are not just going to go up slowly, we are going to go vertical. However, I've seen so many people sell their Tesla stock recently before it just went up significantly because they were watching the media. And this is largely how the media portrays the news. It's just not right. I've seen quite a few posts like this one. Sold my entire Tesla position after 3 years of holding and being stuck, turned green on it for the 50,000th time. And this time I'm not going into the cycle again. Time to move on to new opportunities. I hope I made the right decision. And then Tesla stock goes up 50% in just 2 months after he posted this. Here's another one. I sold all my Tesla shares. Here's why. September 5th. So if you're a long-term Tesla stock investor and you want to hold on to your Tesla stock, make sure to like and subscribe and follow this channel. Here's some seemingly good news for Tesla. Tesla and Rivian just reached a settlement agreement on trade secret case. This is specifically a conditional settlement over a 2020 lawsuit that Tesla filed about Rivian's alleged poaching of employees and the theft of EV trade secrets, including sensitive battery technology. The specifics of the lawsuit have not been provided in this case, but Tesla confirmed that once the settlement terms are completed to Tesla's satisfaction, Tesla will move to dismiss the lawsuit with a target date of December 24th. Merry Christmas, I guess, Rivian. If you're not familiar, some workers were caught red-handed sharing next-generation battery information with Rivian. Originally, there was a trial which was set for March 2025, but that's no longer happening, I assume. Ooh, and Pesci is dunking on Chicken Genius, who used to be one of the biggest Tesla bulls earlier, but later he had a Tesla stock price target of $69, which obviously Tesla stock never reached, and I believe that's sort of still maybe his price target. And on the surface, his reasoning sort of makes sense, but it only makes sense if you are not familiar with how that technology is designed. He said Tesla's auto wipers can't work for nuts. If they can't solve auto wipers, they can't solve FSD. Tesla's auto wipers used to be incredibly bad. Now, I would say they're not terrible. Not great, but not terrible. And I use them a lot because I live in Canada, Vancouver. But if you know exactly how the auto wiper system works, it's actually incredible that it even works at all. If you didn't know, Tesla does not have a single rain sensor. It only detects all of this rain with cameras. Naughty Tesla app did a little case study here. They covered the windshield with the post-it notes. See how they have these blue post-it notes and then they got a bunch of yellow ones over here. This is what the camera sees. See, you can see these yellow ones, but can you see a single blue one? I don't see a single blue one here, and this is what the camera sees. So if you can't see them, how can you wipe them? So in reality, to some extent, Tesla has no idea what's on the vehicle's windshield and can only make assumptions based on a few square inches near the top of the windshield. One of the problems is that Tesla's three front cameras only capture a small portion of the entire windshield, as I just demonstrated to you, because you didn't see any of these blue post-it notes and you only saw a tiny little piece of each of one of these yellow post-it notes. And on top of that, there's something that makes it even harder, and perhaps this is even harder than what I just showed to you. The cameras are focused further away to drive and navigate the vehicle effectively, rendering the visuals close to the camera blurry, leaving a rather technical challenge. So here, they took a picture of the windshield with water droplets. Obviously, there's a bunch of them here. And here's what the camera sees. This is windshield with the rain droplets, and this is the windshield after being wiped. This is what Tesla sees. Quick glance, I see no difference between these two. Knowing that this has a whole bunch of rain droplets and this doesn't, and yet I can't see a difference between these two because the camera is focused far away from the windshield. It's mind-blowing that Tesla actually even makes the windshield wipers work the way they work, which is not terrible. They're not great, but they're not terrible. So I'm looking at this again now, paying more attention, and I do see a few differences, but they are rather somewhat subtle. Now, this spot right here is not as subtle. You can see there's sort of a blurry spot here, and here it's more or less clear. But remember that rain droplets are all over the place, not just in this specific place. Now, Tesla very easily could add one more camera, which would focus just on the windshield, but then everything else in the distance would be blurry. Now, there are some cameras I can see vividly far ahead and up close to some extent, but largely you are still dealing with a challenge like this, where if you focus the camera to look at what's in front of you, then you don't see what's in the distance, meaning you cannot use that same camera for FSD or autopilot and windshield wipers. But if Tesla just placed one more extra camera which could see the entire windshield, and if it was focused exactly to see what's on the windshield only, that problem of auto wipers not working, that would have been solved a long time ago. So the next time a Tesla bear says, oh, Tesla will never solve FSD because it cannot solve auto wipers, just understand that solving auto wipers in this case is probably more difficult than solving FSD. Pesci put together a list of people that made some interesting predictions, which have not come true. For example, a trader here who trades Tesla a lot, he said we'll never see 300 in 2024 for Tesla stock, at least very unlikely. Obviously, that has not turned out to be true. He said that in May of 2024, by the way. So not too long ago. And then Gary Black, oh, I like Gary, but this did not age well. We should have sold our entire Tesla stock position. Then instead of keeping a small percentage of it, he said this on April 20th. However, it's not like Gary Black did terribly with Tesla stock. Not at all, actually. Over the past 2 years, his average Tesla stock buy price was $162 and the average sell price was $252. So if you were a trader and you copied every single trade that Gary Black made when it comes to Tesla stock, you would actually have made some money, a pretty good return too. And Gary Black just posted his update for Tesla stock. These are the upsides for Tesla. EV adoption still continuing at 20 to 25%. That's the upside. Continuing with the upside, Fed cutting rates more by year end. He believes there is a chance that there's going to be a licensing deal for FSD, and obviously higher FSD take rates are more likely, especially with V13 coming out. Now, and check this out. He put this in the upside category as well, even though he sort of said that there is not much of a point in this earlier. That's the new administration streamlining the process for securing autonomous driving licenses nationally. He does still believe that the compact is coming next year, the first half of the year, which is basically in line with what Tesla has been promising us. Tesla likely first to market with generalized unsupervised FSD. That's good to hear from Gary Vlad because he's been skeptical about this for a long time. But his take is even if Tesla is first, everyone else is going to do it as well. I strongly disagree with that assessment. I think Tesla will dominate. Then Tesla producing Optimus. He sees that as bullish. He predicts what's going to happen in 2026. Tesla extending their brand to the $35,000 to $40,000 pickup truck segment. Energy profits could 10x by 2030. I would change that to will 10x. And more than that, actually. Let's look at some of the downsides predicted by Gary Black. The judge, Kathleen McCormick, likely to again reject Elon's 2018 compensation plan. But now that downside is not really as big or as bad as before because of the new administration being very friendly to Elon Musk. I think there are quite a few strings that can be pulled to make sure that everything goes well for Elon eventually. That $7,500 EV tax credit's going away. He sees that as a negative. Short term, sure. Long term, no. I believe that's a positive because it's going to crush all the competition. Tesla is the only one that's making a profit, really. Robotaxi expectations unlikely to live up to the hype he predicts. Tesla at over 100 XPE, highest in 2 years. And then regulatory risk on FSD autonomy. He still believes there was some regulatory risk. I think with the new administration, pretty much all of that is gone. But I never believed in the first place that regulatory challenges were ever a problem for Tesla in the first place. What really matters is just making FSD safer than human driving. Troy posted a pretty detailed update on the Cybertruck, and I think there are some good details in here. In 2022, he says Tesla stopped taking Cybertruck reservations in Australia and other international markets, thinking they had enough orders from the US and Canada to meet demand. However, things have changed, he says. Tesla is now looking for more buyers because demand isn't as strong as expected, even though production in Giga Texas is still only running at 32% of its full capacity. He also doesn't like the $7,500 tax credit going away. Ideally, Tesla wants to sell more of the $100,000 Foundation series in international markets rather than the $80,000 regular version because the regular version isn't profitable yet. So Troy started with a scary tone here, but what he really means when he says there's no demand or not enough demand, he's only referencing the Foundation series, which Tesla, when it first unveiled the Cybertruck, it didn't even say, oh, there's going to be a Foundation series. That's just something Tesla made later. The Foundation series is only a cherry on top. It's not the thing that matters in the long term. But knowing that the regular version is not profitable yet, I think that's an important detail. Tesla said the Cybertruck was gross margin positive for the first time in Q3 of 2024. At the time, the average sale price was $110,000. This means it was still gross margin negative in Q2 when the average sale price was $106,000. Based on Troy's calculations, this suggests that the production cost for the non-performance long-range all-wheel drive version, which currently sells for $80,000 in the US, might be around $100,000. Now, Troy is making a few assumptions, some of which may be accurate, some of which may not, but these two pieces are likely very accurate. For example, the average sale price and the 32% capacity. The thing that I would argue a little bit about would be in Q2, Tesla was still ramping up the Cybertruck. It was still the early days of production, so a lot of things have not been figured out yet. And I believe that the cost came down from Q2 to Q3, and they will continue to go down, especially because it's no longer going to be a Foundation series Cybertruck, which has a few extra features compared to a regular version. And I believe that it was not the price of the average sale going up. That was not the only reason why Cybertruck became profitable in Q3. The thing that they don't know here is by how much did Tesla's costs come down. This we are completely guessing here, and I don't see Troy suggesting any data showing us how much Tesla is spending to make a regular Cybertruck. There's some news coming out from China for Tesla. And there's a price cut actually in China. Supposedly, this is a temporary discount, meaning you have to take delivery of the vehicle before the quarter ends, and this is a price cut of about 1,380 USD. It would be a little bit different if we saw a discount for the Model 3 as well. This is only for the Model Y, and we know that the new Model Y is coming out soon. We know that Tesla already produced some. We don't know how many. It could be a very low number, and this could be just Tesla clearing out the inventory. By the way, this discount can also be combined with a 0% promotional rate that you can get for 60 months. And here's some good news. The China Megapack factory shows incredible progress. You can see from outside, it looks pretty much done. The Mega factory is huge, although not as big as Giga Shanghai. And it's only about half a mile away from Giga Shanghai. Here are some pictures. Yeah, the thing looks from outside. It looks like it's done, obviously. Inside, I don't think it's done yet, but I'm definitely expecting production to start happening pretty soon. A new job listing has been spotted. Tesla is looking for a person in charge of remote access to robotaxi and humanoid robots from its remote operations team. Basically, Tesla is building a system that will allow you to put on VR goggles. I assume they are saying that they will be using a state-of-the-art VR rig that allows them to remotely perform complex and intricate tasks. So if, for example, the Tesla Cybercab gets stuck, you can remotely control it and get it out of a challenging situation. We have seen Waymo do this. We've seen other companies do this as well. And to some extent, Tesla has already been doing this with their Tesla bots. Oh, and check this out. Tesla has begun removing the V3 superchargers at Giga Texas and installing V4 superchargers instead. Why would he say that? Neil deGrasse Tyson says Elon Musk only wants to go to Mars for money. Elon explained, wow, they really don't get it. Mars is critical to the long-term survival of consciousness. Also, I'm not going to ask any venture capitalists for money. I realize that it makes no sense as an investment. That's why I'm gathering resources. The real problem is that Neil decided to grovel to the woke far left when he got hit with a Me Too. You can avoid being cancelled if you beg for forgiveness and push their nonsense ideology. The truth hurts, he says. And in the end, this also matters. Even if we fail at creating a Mars colony that can grow without continuous support from Earth, the absurdly ambitious nature of the goal nonetheless results in the creation of alien-level technology like chopsticks that can catch massive flying objects, flying buildings, really, if you think about it, which is just one reason why SpaceX is so much better than competitors who merely aim for Earth orbit. So he thinks it has to be all about money. I wonder if that's how he approaches things. I'm not sure how important money is to him, but obviously money is not the only thing that's important to Elon Musk. Also, this scientist was challenged after he couldn't acknowledge basic differences between a man and a woman. If you can't acknowledge differences between men and women, in my eyes, you don't have much credibility. So you dunking on Elon, that does not do much. And here, check this out. This is pretty good. The Telegraph wrote that Elon Musk's Starship has made NASA obsolete. They write, looking at SpaceX and the way it is revolutionizing access to space after decades of stagnation, would have to admit that Musk is genuinely changing the direction of human history. It's already an astonishing legacy, and there's probably more to come. Not probably, definitely more to come. We just got the booster with chopsticks. Next is going to be the actual spaceship, Starship, that's going to be caught with the chopsticks too. The 7th Starship test flight could happen as soon as January 11th, according to a new filing from NASA. So stay tuned for that. I am definitely looking forward to that. Check this post out. This is actually pretty revealing. This is from someone who works at XAI, and you can verify that because this person has this XAI badge, and working at XAI is the only way you can get that badge. Example of why XAI is a truly special place to work at. Recently, Elon took the time to hear 5-minute presentations from everyone at the company about what they are working on, with everyone going into as much technical detail as possible. He gave feedback to every single team member on what they are doing and how to help make Grok better. Elon spent 18 hours total with the team on this. No other leader cares so much about making their team successful, and the results speak for themselves. Elon is also promising that many Grok updates are coming, and Grok is basically ChatGPT, but I still find ChatGPT 4 to be a little bit better. I noticed, however, that Grok has been improving, and I'm sure give it a little bit more time and it will be just as good and eventually better than ChatGPT. I have been posting a little bit more on X, so make sure to follow me on there. If you are not following me yet, there's a link down below to my profile on X, and I believe the Tesla stock eventually is going to $1,000 and then well beyond that. My name is Matt Postius. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video, probably on Wednesday.